I am Jara Bean. I'm a social media coach, educator, speaker, content creator. I'm here at Social Media Marketing World to be a student. I'm learning a lot, but I'm also speaking tomorrow all about strategy for Reels and TikTok.
I love that. And let me go right what you just said.
Okay.
To be a student.
Ooh.
I think that's so important.
Heck
You're
yeah.
a baller. Many people here know you and follow you, but we're all here to learn.
Yeah.
Can you just underline the emphasis is constantly learning? I think it's so important.
My goodness. And I have to say, I am so excited to be here because I get to experience today as a student, and tomorrow I'm speaking. And so today I've jumped into different sessions about SEO and LinkedIn and even subjects that I am good at, like Instagram and video. And one thing that I notice is, yes, you may know the content, but sometimes I feel the way that people represent the information, the way that they package it is so different from how I do it, and it allows you to see the information that you're already familiar with, but from a different perspective, and then you're learning because of the way that they're shedding light on those subjects that you don't normally think about it in that way.
Can I have permission to deviate a bit and go aside note?
Please.
Leslie Samuel, you know, the host and speaker, shaved head, black guy, but not me.
Yes.
I need to get a t-shirt. People think he's me, and people think I'm him. I like watching a dude.
Oh,
like, I'm
yes.
a fellow speaker, but
There
I'm like,
you go.
oh, how he
I
opened, how he
know.
introed. So I
Same
think it's...
exact thing. Yes. Yeah, I'm on the same page.
So one thing I want to touch on, and then I have a few things I want to touch on.
Okay.
But short form content, that's one thing you're going to share about. I know you can talk about a lot.
Yes.
Can we just talk about that? Demystify, Jara Bean, this aspect of long form content, short form content, Twitter, X, Instagram. Then we have stories. Just give us at the highest level. We're overwhelmed.
Oh my
Get
God.
frustrated.
I
Some
know.
said we should do long form. Jara's saying short form. Give us your world of this video. Give us a synopsis of what we
Sure.
should know.
Well, I think the most important thing is that there are so many different avenues, as you just described. And at the end of the day, we really have to hone in on what works for us. And I mean it both from what works for our business. Like, we all have different types of businesses or personal brands. And then we also all have different levels of like comfort and what works. So one business owner, it might be great for them to be on Reels and TikTok, but someone else might be killing it on LinkedIn. And it's not like it's necessarily one right or wrong path. So I think what makes sense for your business, for your personal brand, as well as like your comfort level. Now, don't get me wrong. I think it's great to push that comfort zone a little bit every now and then. So it's not about staying in that box 100% of the time, but I do think there's something to be said for finding your groove and what really like jives with your energy.
Yes. And before we go on, Jara Bean, one more time, tell people who you are, what you do, how we can find you. Tell us those things
Heck
before we
yeah. Jara Bean. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok, Jara.Bean, JaraBean.com, and it's just Jara Bean all around.
I love it. Is there, besides just following you, what can you do for people? What do people know about
Yes.
you? What can they get from you? Tell us about that.
Absolutely. So across all the hats that I wear, social media coaching, education, speaking, my main mission is to transform the way that you show up on social media so you can use it as a powerful and positive tool to support your business and your goals. So I do one-on-one coaching. I have courses. My new course, which is all about video editing. It's called the Video Editing Rodeo. It's launching soon.
Okay.
Speaking, workshops. I love doing in-person events. So that's my dealio.
I love it. I love it. Good. So follow Jara Bean. So one thing I want to talk about is Mike Stelzner, our probably mutual friend.
Yes.
He talked today about disruption. And I think today wasn't a bunch of tactics. His keynote, he said disruption is going to happen, not in a negative way, but just deal with it. He seemed to give people permission to say, in 10 years, there's going to be something else.
Right.
5 years, there's going to be something else. So can you just address the issue of there's a lot of, maybe it's just me, but panic, frustration, overwhelming in years past. Well, I'm scattered.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what I'm asking you, but
Yeah,
can
no,
you
I
just-
get what
Okay,
you're asking me. I always go with my gut. Like, what's the
Let's
first
go.
thing that comes into my mind?
Okay.
And social media marketing, it's ever changing. Like, that's why we come to conferences like these to learn, to speak, because we want to keep our finger on the pulse of what's happening. Now, at the end of the day, I think there really are foundations for each person, each business that they can build and create that are perhaps not everlasting for all of eternity, but are going to be the core components of who you are and what you do and how you show up. This is actually one thing that I'm essentially teaching in my session tomorrow, where you can figure out, okay, what's my authority? What's my expertise? What is my secret sauce? That's my favorite topic. And what are the core components of my brand and business? Those things for the most part, are evergreen. Regardless of the trends, regardless of what's new, what's hot, AI, and the trends on TikTok, like those are the things that you can always bring to the table. So when you're feeling overwhelmed, when you're like, oh my God, there's all these options, what's at the core of it? And that's really what's going to ground you. And in my world, help you to create really awesome, impactful content, regardless of what's happening outside.
I love it. And once again, everybody, we're talking to Jara Bean. Follow her, talk to her, get to know her on all the channels, get her courses and more. My name is Ramon Ray, ZonofGenius.com. One more thing I want to talk to you about, Jara. We'll talk to two different types of people right now. Those who are just beginning, and again, we can go anywhere, but you'll take it where you want.
Yes.
Those who are beginning with video, social, well, let's keep it on video. What do you come and tell? Like, what, Ramon, I'm always hearing this, and the person is like, Jara, I bought my first phone. I got my first, what do you call it, Jara? Webcam, camcorder?
Yes.
Can you talk to the beginning people? What would Jara say? I haven't done any video yet. Haven't posted any platform, but I know I want to. Any few tips for them?
Yes, I do. I feel like it's half mindset and then it's half like logistics. So on the mindset front, I'm all about embracing this idea of messy action. I think
Messy
action. Yeah. So often we are stuck and we see everyone else doing it and they're further along. They understand what they're doing. They're creating cool videos. They have the confidence, and it can be really intimidating to take that first step. And then people don't take that first step. So if you scroll back to the beginning of my TikTok, end of 2019, like I didn't know what I was doing. Even my voice sounds different than it does now. But the only reason I got to where I am today is because I took that messy action and kind of fumbled through my content, fumbled through my confidence, etc. So that would be on the mindset side. I think on the more logistical side, the more that you can explore your voice from the start, the more we can tap into that evergreen nature I was talking about. So don't get me wrong, I love a TikTok trend. I love an Instagram trend. It's really the fun part of short form video content culture. But I think the real lasting part of it, the part where you can make an impression now and in the future, is incorporating your voice via voiceover as well as talking to camera. And that's what's really gonna be impactful now and in the future. Even if it doesn't get like all the views, I always think about how are you creating like this cozy bed of content on your profile that is going to make your ideal person want to connect with you, work with you, hire you. Now trends, sure, they're fun, but it's your voice that's really going to make the impact. So that's what I would want someone starting out to focus on and really understand.
I love it. I was going to ask another question, but I'm not going to ask that question. I changed questions in my mind. So that's how I roll. And last question here, we're talking to Jara Bean, social media marketing world. Definitely follow and see Jara Bean. Thank you for being, by the way, with us today.
Yeah.
So appreciate you. I feel like we want a red carpet.
No. Oh my God,
we should
do that.
We can do like a whole
We're manifesting this. Red carpet, if you need us, let us know.
Absolutely. So talk to the person who's shy. That's what I want to talk to. When I'm talking to my wife, honey, I love you, so don't be upset at me. But the person who's shy, you and I clearly are comfortable with video. We just roll. There's millions of people.
Yes.
Whether they don't like how they love their voice, and I respect that.
Same.
Absolutely. How I grew up and all these things. Can you talk to those people? Again, they don't have to do video. I know that.
Right.
But if they want to do it, and they're like, Jara, I want to do it, but I feel uncomfortable. I don't even like to look.
Yeah.
Anything that you can guide them on?
100%. Okay. So one thing, because I work with a lot of people, I coach and teach different people, and there's all different levels of experience, shyness, introverted, extroverted. I'm actually very introverted, just so you know. See you later. Doesn't believe me. But one thing I always come back to is this idea of stepping stones. Okay. We don't have to go from 0 to 100. If you have never posted a video or a talking to camera video, that's probably terrifying. So what is a stepping stone we can take? The very first one, I think, is, okay, well, how can we at least have your perspective come through? That can come through with B-roll and text overlay. The next step I would see is, okay, maybe this time we incorporate your voice into it. So you're not talking to camera, but we're adding in voiceover. And then like the going to 100 would be more of that talking to camera. So it's the same thing with like a beginner looking at everyone else feeling like they have it figured out. Okay, you're not going to go from that beginner to that super advanced in one action step of making a video. It's the same thing. If you're super shy, well, you don't have to go from not talking to camera all the way to talking to camera, but what are the ways that we can still have your perspective, your thoughts, and your thought leadership come through your content?